We're back at the Lululemon Southpark store in Charlotte, North Carolina. Around the Crown 10K. It is coming up September 4th. We got the man behind the madness, Brian Mister, who's also an ambassador for this store. How convenient you're here. Welcome.
Thanks so much for having me. I love being back in the store. It's a good time here, good energy.
Hey,
really enjoy it.
We're happy to have you. So tell the good people out there where you grew up and why did you decide to get into running?
Yeah. So originally from Eastern Shore, Maryland, a little town called Salisbury up there. Got into soccer up there, enjoyed that, and I would just run all the time. I had way too much energy. I feel like I was one of those kids where my parents would just tell me, get outside, just go outside, go run around for a while. And I think I just naturally came into that, and then tried out for the club soccer team here at UNC Charlotte about 14 years ago. Did not make it, and should not have made it at all. I had like running, I'm not very good actually at the soccer side of things. And then did my first 5K in Uptown called Hog Jog.
How old were you?
I mean, this would have been like 12 years ago, so I was just into college. I was probably like 21 or so. So did that one, did the next one, did a 10K, did a half, and then got into trails a little bit and just really fell in love with running. I didn't care about the competition side of it. I was kind of running against myself, but more so it was my time to reset. And
the mentals, what does it do for your mental state?
Yeah, it's amazing. I mean, I'm also on top of the race director and ambassador. I get to be a dad of 3 as well, so I got little ones running around, and to reset that mental game a little bit, to go back and want to be, kind of change from work mode to dad mode at the end of the day. It's nice to get that run in at the end of the day or at the beginning of the day where it's like, all right, I got to start this day fresh. Like, let's do this. Maybe get a few miles in. Sometimes jam into some beats, sometimes not, but just kind of gets me prepared to whatever that next step might be, if that's work or if that's play or if that's husband, it's good.
All right, so you've been with Lululemon for quite some time as a running ambassador. Why did you decide to get involved with Lululemon? How did that come about, and what's kept you around?
Yeah, we're coming up on year 4 as an ambassador, which has been an absolute blast.
By the way, I love the Surge special edition shorts he's rocking right now.
These have quickly become my favorites, like my go-tos. I've got some long runs right now, and I freaking love these things. Yeah. They're addicting. And I think these are the 5-inch, which I like too. It doesn't hit the knees. It's nice. Anyway, love Lululemon.
Back to regular scheduled programming.
Yeah, exactly. Love Lululemon. This will be my 4th year as an ambassador. Had some fun through the pandemic, before the pandemic, so I've kind of seen this company grow and evolve as all companies have during the pandemic, and loved them before and love them even more now. I got to kick my ambassadorship off with a trip down to Miami with the other regional running men ambassadors, so it was like a all-male running meetup.
Wow.
And it was a blast, man. It's we do our goal sessioning, we do all that fun, but you're connecting with people you just met for the first time, and that connection gets so deep, so quick through the things that Lululemon does, and it's a blast. I really enjoyed it.
What makes the company Lululemon so special? I know you get to interact as well with the other ambassadors in this store, Finley and Cornell.
Yeah, it's the interaction with those two, and I've known them each for a while now, which is super fun. But then I still get to keep up with all those guys from Miami. I'm meeting new people. I was just in Atlanta for the Peachtree Road Race, the largest running race in the world, and I set up my booth. I'm next to this person. We're hitting it off, talking and everything, and I was like, I don't know why I'm feeling this, but like, do you work with Lululemon as well? And they're like, yeah, I'm an ambassador here. And I was like, what do you know? Like, it's so fun, and like you can just recognize good people, and that's who Lululemon brings in, be that employees or be that ambassadors. And I really enjoy it. So I think it's some of that, like those core beliefs that are there. I think another big part of it for me too is the sustainability that the company has in place. They have a lot of products these days that are focused on that. And I enjoy seeing more and more come from such a large company do something like that. Is always good to see.
Let's talk about what is coming up. What's on the horizon? Listen, folks, this man, he shuts down a highway. You shut down I-77 in Charlotte, right? This is
I-277.
I-277 for the Around the Crown 10K, September 4th. How in the world do you shut down a highway?
Yeah, coming up. So we're Sunday, September 4th, and it's looking like it's going to be a good time this year. Expecting about 5,000 registrants, which should be our largest year yet, which is awesome to come out of the pandemic kind of charging forward real strong. And this whole thing started just wanting something more for Charlotte, the Charlotte running community, and wanting that keystone race like you have in Charleston with Cooper River, or like you have in Atlanta with Peachtree, and both of those happen to be 10Ks as well, which led us to really want a 10K here in Charlotte. And we thought, what bigger way to do it than to shut or open up a highway is another way to say it. We open up this highway for another reason, and man, we have a blast with it.
Yeah.
So my wife and I, she does all our branding, so these shirts, and then I get to do logistics and marketing and sponsorship and all that other business stuff. And it's, oh man, we just love it so much. It's going to be a big year this year.
Yeah, what type of growth have you seen from when it first started? I believe 2019 was the first Around the Crown 10K. What growth have you seen from then to now, and what are some exciting, maybe new things that you've added to this year?
Yeah, for sure. So it's interesting when you talk about growth after a pandemic. Not many people are seeing growth right now, so I've learned to look at growth in a different way. Like, yes, our race is getting larger, but I think we're getting deeper as well, and we're getting deeper in with the community, and connecting with people like Cornell and his amazing run club, Mad Miles, that is taking over the city. I mean, you see it every Tuesday. It's 400 people on a Tuesday, 250 people on a Saturday.
Crazy.
It's massive. So to really work towards our start line looking more like our community with people like Cornell is amazing. And honestly, like Finley as well, the other ambassador here, it's so much fun to see that kind of growth and see our race represent Charlotte in a better way. And yeah, sure, it's growing numbers wise too, and our sponsors are growing and all that, but to become Charlotte's race, that's what we want, and that's the growth we're seeing. And really just looking forward to see where that's going to continue to go over the next few years.
And we've got the finish line medal, right? Show us.
Yeah. So this is this year's medal. We've got the 2022 medal here. My wife designed this again, so the lines that you see on here are representative of the highways, the underpasses, the on-ramps, the off-ramps. It continues on to the back. And the back kind of has a bigger message than the front does. The front, has got our team name on there around the crown, but the back is kind of like your name. And it says changing the speed limit from 50 to 5. So that's what we're doing on the highway. And we're pumped about it. Got the crown on there, Truest on there, rocking it all. 10K finisher, so it's a good time for sure.
Wow, I have to give this back to you, obviously, because
You'll earn it back. You'll earn it back. Yeah, for sure.
All right, so looking into the future, the Charlotte running community is obviously growing. Where do you see it in the next 2-3 years? What are some of the things that you've talked about with other run groups? You mentioned Mad Miles, other run groups, other people. Where do you see it going in the next couple of years?
Yeah, I think that the running community, what we saw during the pandemic was that there were a lot more runners joining the sport, joining the hobby without races being involved. And you can see that in Strava data if you're a Strava nerd and you're on that stuff. I think that that's going to start populating into races next. So we have a lot of people out on the greenways, we have a lot of people in the parks running around. I think the next step is getting them into racing as well, and what that's going to look like for the community. I think that's one step of where we're going to see Charlotte going. I think the other thing too is these clubs are growing. You've got Mad Miles, we talked about that. I was just over at Barn Burners in South End, really close to the Atherton Lululemon, where another run ambassador, Jen D, is at, and crushing it over there. But then you got the Charlotte Running Club is starting to grow as well, and I think people just want to be a part of a community and something bigger and better. So I see it growing that way for sure. I think it goes back to the depth versus the width a little bit, which is fun.
Yeah, that's amazing. Well, we really appreciate your time, Brian. Again, you're continuing on with us as an ambassador, a running ambassador for this Lululemon Southpark store. And hey, folks, Around the Crown 10, you can still sign up, right? How do you sign up?
Registration is still open, atc10k.com. We got registration on there. Lululemon's also setting up a huge cheer station, a couple of them. So get out there. I know they've always got hilarious signs. They'll be out over top of the highway at the finish line. Join the party.
Let's do it.
Let's go.